ARCHway's working on 5 years of existence. We're still small, but we work in 7 or 8 states. We've given out, we're small, over $100,000 of scholarships. We're here to change the stigma. I'm not asking for donations tonight. I'm not selling anything. Our job tonight is to educate you all. I think in the end, the money is great. I want you to take the facts and get ticked off. That would be my hope. I think that would be Paul's hope. Nobody else is going to solve the problem. We're going to solve the problem. So I'm going to give you some positives. James and I have seen a number of positives. It's hard to imagine. In 5 years, the medical community has declared addiction as a disease versus disorder. It has a huge impact on the stigma in talking with families. The Center of Disease Control has declared it an epidemic. We're talking about opiate epidemic versus heroin epidemic. For so many years, we've just talked about it as a heroin epidemic, and the need to cover up what really is, if you'll really look at those charts, 3 out of 4 people that got hooked on heroin started on prescription painkillers. Federal government only gives federal funds to medically assisted treatment programs, drug courts closing down to pill mills, Narcan, people starting to talk. So what's ARCHway? We believe in recovery from the disease of addiction. We're trying to send out a positive message and help people. We assist individuals suffering with mental health and addictive disease by providing financial assistance for treatment. We provide educational seminars like this. So our services: financial assistance to help someone with an alcohol or drug addiction disease enter a recovery program. This might surprise you because everybody says, really, $100,000? How many people does that? Our average scholarship is $500, and this should tick you off. So there's, if you listen to the statistics, there's 1 bed. There's 10 people asking for it. If you have insurance and you can cover your deductible, who's in? If you have insurance and then you burnt your family and friends and you can't pay your deductible, who's out? Our typical scholarship is to cover people's deductible, $500. So, and remember, they're stealing from you at $200 a day, $500. The other one is insurance doesn't cover for sober living. So if you talk about 12 months minimum of a treatment program, we are very strong in believing and seeing. I would not have been that person in sober living houses. I would have been one of those. You just have a bunch of drunks in a house. That was me. I'm telling you, I was the worst. We watch John, and we watch those men in those sober houses and women in women sober houses, the support they give each other, the camaraderie, the managing the stigma that they're dealing with in the community. It's huge. Insurance doesn't cover for it. ARCHway pays. So let's think about this. So we get somebody through a 28-day treatment program. They have no money. And so we send them out on the street. Let them live under a bridge again. We give scholarships, $500, first month rent, while they secure a job and pay for their own way to rebuild their life. 1 month's rent, that's what we do. And as you can see, we're in 7 states. Ohio actually is the biggest place we've given money. And we give it to sober living and to a number of recovery centers. We have a lot of events. We have some literature for you where we drive education. Every fundraiser event, our number one, we also have an education piece to it. We're advocates for caregivers. This is the piece you don't know. John kind of talked about it. Every event we have, we end up with about 10 or 20 people who will text us, email us, see us afterwards, and ask us to help them find the help. Remember, they're in crisis mode. The other thing that's a little disgusting, and I'm going to just say, we know the CEOs of the different recovery centers. We also know there's a lot of non-standards in recovery centers. There are more scams on the recovery side than you can imagine. And I'm telling you what, if your kid is playing Russian roulette every night, anybody that walks up and says, I can take care of the problem, you're going to give them everything you have. These people, these caregivers are in crisis mode and they need an advocate, and that's what we do. We tell them, we help them find centers across the country. We help them educate them on what questions they should be asking of the recovery centers, and tell them you should ask them about this medication, what the 12-month program is. That's what we do. Again, 1 in 3 families are dealing with it. And just a little plug, ARCHway also is putting together with our funds a long-term plan to, we're trying to raise $250,000 over a 5-year period. So we can take the interest from that, which is $10,000 a year, which will, in some ways, we hope save 20 people a year. That's what we're trying to do. And we're getting, typically, we've never gotten a grant from any organization. We've never gotten really a commitment from a large organization other than labor unions. It's all individual families. I'm not putting pressure on you, Paul, but like Paul or Lorraine, it's the people that have lived this nightmare who don't want others to live the same nightmare. And then we'll have questions. My challenge and a call to action. Number 1, educate yourself, both for yourself, your family, and as a citizen of the U.S. Properly, Bill talked about this, dispose of drugs. I'm telling you, the next generation isn't stealing from your liquor cabinet, they're stealing from your medicine cabinet. It's a known fact. Willingness to show friends your openness. Jan and I did not talk to friends because our friends didn't talk to us. And it's a huge source. If you just let a friend know, just said the word, boy, this is a terrible disease, it's got to tear, you'll be amazed who's going to come to your door crying about their personal situation. There's many ways to do it. I'm not pushing this. Like us on Facebook and then share one of our postings with your friends. You will be surprised who comes to ask for help. And if you don't have the answer, send them our direction. Learn about your family history. Jan and I didn't know about it. Remember, half of it is genetics. And then the rest of it, I'm pushing a little more for mine. The other one is challenge your doctors, but I'm challenging you. Jan had a story. This is her story in Florida this year. She had some minor surgery. She goes into the hospital and she says, okay, what about pain management when I leave? And the nurse said, don't worry, honey. You're not going to feel a thing. And Jan said, don't you want to know about my family history? Don't worry, honey. You're not going to feel a thing. And she says, you don't get it. Addiction's in my family. I don't want narcotics prescribed to me. I want something else prescribed. I am a high-risk patient. Challenge your doctors. So that's all I have, and at this point, I apologize for the length, but it's obviously both Phil, Jan, and I, it's a very emotional topic with us, And I think, Phil, if you come up, Jan, Paul, sorry. I've been doing that now. Paul, Jan, and I will answer any questions.
I got dinner out of it, so I'm fine.
Perfect. Any questions for any of us? And I'm sorry for the length. Yes.